Hey guys, today we're going to start some sprouts inside. This is something that you can do year round, so if you're like me and it's January and you are itching to do something in the garden, but it is just too early to plant, this is the perfect project. Let me show you this. This is from Botanical Interest. It's their seed sprouter tray. I really like this if you're going to do any seed sprouting. Of course, you can do it in a mason jar with the mesh lid, but if you're going to do it, I really think you'll enjoy this. It's a tier tray. This is what the entire set comes with. It comes with a lid, so that way you can have some air circulation. It comes with the two trays. Each tray comes with this divider in the center, so that way you can either do two different varieties of sprouts, or if you have all of your center dividers in, you can do up to 4 varieties at one time. Then it of course comes with the drain pan at the bottom, because you're going to have to be rinsing these sprouts twice a day. So there's a recipe I want to do. It's a sprout burger, so it's vegetarian and it just sounds really yummy. So for the recipe, I'm going to need lentil sprouts and I'm going to need these Chinese rose radish sprouts. So the first thing we're going to do before we can even put our sprouts in these trays is we're going to have to soak these sprouts overnight. So we're going to soak them for 8 to 12 hours. So I'm doing 2 different kinds. So the lentils, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of sprouts. I'm just going to put them in a glass jar like this, fill it up with water. And then the radishes, I'm going to fill up with 2 tablespoons of the seeds, fill it up with water, and let them sit overnight. Let's get some of these measured out. I'm going to start with the radish sprouts. I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of these. And it looks like it's basically the whole packet. And then for our lentils, I'm only going to need couple of those. They're much bigger. So I'm going to fill these up with water, cover them up, let them soak for 8 to 12 hours. Now once we've let these soak overnight, or 8 to 12 hours, depending on when you're starting these, what you're going to do is then take your sprouts that have sat in water for the 8 to 12 hours, and you're going to place them in one of your trays. And then what you're going to do from there is you're going to take your tray and you're going to rinse it with water, about 6 cups worth of water twice a day. So I typically do it morning around when I'm getting my cup of coffee, and then at night when I'm in the kitchen making dinner. So that way 2 times a day as I'm already in the kitchen, not even thinking about it, I know to rinse my sprouts. So we'll do that. Again, both of these sprouts take 4 to 6 days from today that they'll be ready. So once they're ready, we can make those burgers. Another thing that I forgot to mention is that the sprouts don't need to be in direct light to sprout. They actually prefer to be somewhere that's a little bit darker, so I just keep them on my counter in between rinses. Okay, it's been a few days. We've been rinsing our sprouts twice a day, and this is where we're at. Lots of root development and pretty green tops. I think we're ready to make these sprouts. Let me show you what we're gonna put in them. Okay, this is everything we're gonna need to make this sprout burger. So we have our radish sprouts that we started a couple days ago. We have our lentil sprouts. We have some Old Bay seasoning, whole milk, some green onions, 2 eggs, flour, garlic powder, salt and pepper. First thing we're gonna do is chop up our sprouts. So I have a cup of the radish sprouts and I have 2 cups of the lentils. And we're just gonna chop these up and get them nice and fine. Okay, that looks pretty chopped up. I'm gonna add it to my mixing bowl. I'm gonna chop up 3 green onions. Okay, then I'm gonna add 2 eggs that I lightly beat, 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of milk, and then our Old Bay and garlic powder. And then I'm just gonna lightly stir these together. So now that I've stirred this up, this is kind of the consistency you're gonna want. We're gonna put it in a hot pan and make these burgers. Just gonna lightly spray my pan with some olive oil. You do have this already hot, and depending on how big you want your burgers, it's gonna be how big of a scoop you do. I'm gonna let these cook about 2 minutes per side. So once 2 minutes goes by, I'll flip the burgers and then I'll cook the other side. These look good. Okay, so I got my hamburger bun. I'm gonna add some ketchup and mustard. That's what I like on my hamburger. And there's the finished product. Let's see how it tastes. This is really good. I think if you're not even a veggie person, you would like this. Well, let me know if you like this recipe and you want to see more recipes. Okay, see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'll plant with you later.